This is the first presentation on sampling. In this module, there are 3 presentations. This presentation is a short introduction to sampling and covers how to make inferences from a sample to a population and the steps in the sampling process. The next presentation, Types of Probability Sampling, has a lot of information to cover. However, the third one, Types of Non-Probability Sampling, will be more brief. And in this module, you'll also find one exercise in which you'll be presented with 5 different research scenarios, and you need to devise an appropriate sampling design for that research scenario. So why sample? We sample in order to make inferences. Inferences are also, think of them as conclusions. So we sample to make inferences or conclusions about a specific population. A population is your group that you want to be able to draw conclusions about at the end of your study. The group can be people, it could also be organizations, events, and so on. In this illustration, we see that the population are students and methods classes. You see the box at the top where it has a list of names. That's the population. As explained in the text, it's not always efficient to interview or survey every single member of your population. So if we wanted to research students and methods in a methods class, we might not have time or the resources to interview every single one of them. Another example, let's say you want to conduct a study of sociology students in New Jersey methods classes. That would take a lot of time. So instead of interviewing every single one of them, you would choose a sample. So a subset of members of your population. So here you see at the bottom, we've chosen a sample of some students from the population. So with this sample, you can make inferences or conclusions about the population. Here are the first steps in the sampling process, which helps you decide what your sampling strategy will look like. So a few things to note. First, your sampling strategy depends on your research question, general research approach. For example, is it quantitative or qualitative? And your unit of analysis. For example, students. Second, there are 2 sampling strategies, probability sampling and non-probability sampling. We will go over the differences in the next presentation. So when choosing your sampling strategy, it will depend on the population you are studying, your resources, your time constraints, and other variables. It will also depend on the types of conclusions you want to make about the population. So that's important. Depending on the types of conclusions that you want to make, as well as these other listed items, you will choose either probability or non-probability. We'll go over this in the next 2 presentations. This is the end of the presentation. Please continue to the next module item.